Good morning, Steve Johnson here with Clear Choice Energy Solutions. Today we're at a customer's home where we're replacing 5 full replacement windows. One thing I wanted to point out that we do differently than our competition, this window here was installed by one of our competitors just a year ago, and we're actually going to be replacing this window as well today. And something I wanted to point out that our competitors like to do is, rather than remove all the siding to get down to the nailing flanges to replace the window for a full replacement, they actually will basically take a sawzall, run it down the edge of the J-channel here, the siding, to cut the old nailing flange out, remove that window, install a new window, basically just caulk it in place, and then put some metal wrap right over the J-channel. And you can actually see what I'm talking about here. They basically have just taken metal and bent it right over the J-channel. And what that basically does is it's supposed to help keep the water out, but in a sense you're basically relying on a bead of caulk for the next 30-40 years to keep all the elements out of the wall. And that's just not the right way to do things. Here at Clear Choice, we actually remove the siding, expose the old nailing flanges, remove the entire window including the old nailing flange, then insert a new window with a nailing flange. That nailing flange is caulked first, and then it's actually nailed in place. And then we use a window tape all the way around, and we're going to take you around to one of our other windows that we're doing and show you how we do those and how we do things. But again, basically I just wanted to show how our competitors are doing things with full replacements. Rather than take the time to take the siding off, they're basically just cutting out, like I say, just cutting out the old window, leaving the old nail and flange in place, and then bending some metal to cover up that J-channel. It just doesn't look like the right way to do it. It's not the right way to do it, and it just doesn't look good for that matter as well. So again, we'll take you around and show you how we do things, but I wanted to show you guys how a lot of our competitors do it. So we're at the same customer's house, and I want to show you guys exactly how we install the window. The very first thing we're going to do in a full replacement is we're going to remove all the siding off this window. The siding comes down, everything gets trimmed back, the drywall gets trimmed back. We inspect the sills to make sure there's no water damage on the sills, and then we're going to go ahead, we're going to lay down a sill sealer on the bottom here, that'll wrap up the sides, and then you'll see us, we'll actually be caulking around the nailing flanges, foaming on the bottom before we even set the window in place, and then we'll go ahead and foam around the edges of the window as well. And again, all this is done to ensure that we can say safely the next 30-40 years you're never going to have any water damage or air coming through your windows or anything like that. So it's important to us to do the job right, unlike a lot of our competitors, as you saw in the back of the house. They just kind of want to cut things out and slap in a new window. We're going to do it the right way for you and make sure everything is completely done properly and sealed up properly for you. So as you can see, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be laying down a sill sealer, and what this is designed to do is protect the sill from any water damage in the future. And what we find is most houses don't even have this when they are built. This is something that we do, and we install this properly just to make sure that everything is done and completely watertight for you. And you'll see we extend it up the sides. We're going to cut these corners, and then we'll put another piece in these corners as well, just to make sure they're properly flashed and sealed up for you. So what we've gone ahead and done, as you can see, we've got the seal placed. We've also done the corners with actually on the second piece here to make sure that's sealed up completely so it's overlapped properly. We've gone ahead and caulked all the way around those sides of the windows and the top of the window, and then you can see we've actually gone ahead and foamed the window along with leveling the window off as well. And again, this is how we do it every day for our full replacements. And this is one of the things that you'll find separates us from our competitors, is just our attention to detail and how we go ahead and make sure everything is completely sealed up. So we're going to go ahead and set the window now, get it nailed in place, and then we'll go ahead and flash over that as well. So we went ahead and pulled off all the wrap and everything that was around this window, and like I said, this is one of the windows that the homeowner just had installed last year from one of our competitors, and he was already complaining that he's got a window that faces the west, and he was saying that he had a lot of air coming around his window, and as you can kind of see why, this kind of explains why he's got a lot of air coming around. So as I mentioned earlier, our competitors just like to cut the nailing flange on the window, and basically they're doing a pocket replacement inside an existing frame rather than taking the entire siding off like we do and putting the nailing flange on and flashing that with window tape and stuff. They're basically just doing a pocket replacement. You can kind of see what they've done here is they basically have just put a bunch of caulk in here, and this stuff right here is called reticulating foam. And this is something that you can order with your windows. It's basically designed to slow down air. It doesn't stop air. If I blow through this, you can actually feel the air come through it. And so what they've basically done is they've packed reticulating foam around this window with a couple pieces of that to try and stop the air from going through there. They put a couple tubes of caulk around this window up here. But you can see this is the old nailing flange from the original window that was in the house, where you can see where they cut it and basically just put some reticulating foam around that window, and then you can kind of see this is where they've caulked it around the J channel, and they're basically relying on this caulk to stop any air and water from getting in behind this siding down the road. And I mean, there's spots on this where you can actually see the caulk is already starting to get a little bit loose. So again, just not the proper way to installing a window, doing something like this, just relying on this reticulating foam to stop the air from coming through. And then on bottom, basically, they've just put a board down here. There's really no sealant or anything to stop the air from coming underneath this window. So once we get our new window installed the proper way with foam, nailing flange, window tape, the whole homeowner is going to find this window is going to be a lot tighter for them, and we won't have to worry about any issues in the future. So again, kind of a sad story that this homeowner just bought this window a year ago, and here we are replacing it already. So you'll find with us, we do things the right way. Sometimes it's not the cheapest way of doing it, but you'll find with us it's the right way of doing it, and that's how we install all of our products. So thanks for watching.